A big night in the 2024 race for the White House, with former President Trump set to speak at the RNC.
All right, this is President Biden has had to put his campaign events on hold after testing positive for COVID, and more powerful Democrats are urging him to drop out of the race for the White House.
We have a team of reporters covering all the latest political headlines. Sharon Crowley is going to have more on President Biden, but first we go to Morgan McKay with the latest on what Trump is expected to say at the RNC tonight. Morgan.
Steve and Natasha, Make America Great once again is the theme of the last day of the RNC tonight. And former President Donald Trump is set to lay the groundwork on how he believes he can do that later tonight. And that's Kid Rock practicing a Trump-themed song ahead of Day 4 of the Republican National Convention, according to Fox News reporter Bill Melugin on social media. Kid Rock is one of a handful of star-studded guests who will be attending the last day of the RNC. Some of the speakers tonight include Hulk Hogan and Franklin Graham. Trump's wife, Melania, will also be there to watch her husband accept the party's nomination for president later tonight. Former President Donald Trump will then be giving his first public speech since the attempted assassination attack.
This is very unified and exciting and a historic convention, and I think J.D. Vance did a tremendous job last night, and I'm really looking forward, as the American people are, from hearing from President Trump.
Ohio Senator and now Vice President nominee J.D. Vance took the stage last night to speak about the hardships he had to overcome in life to get where he is today. Vance grew up in rural Ohio with a mother who struggled with addiction. He said he watched how policies put in place in Washington shipped jobs overseas and forced factories to close in his hometown.
And I promise you one more thing. To the people of Middletown, Ohio, and all the forgotten communities in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Ohio, and every corner of our nation, I promise you this: I will be a vice president who never forgets where he came from.
Meanwhile, as questions are mounting about how Saturday's assassination attempt could have happened, congressional members yesterday cornered the head of the Secret Service at the RNC, pressing for answers and calling on her to resign.
You owe answers. To the president, the past president, and you owe answers to
the president. The president should have this for the protection for crying out loud.
Now, according to Trump and his team, after the attempt on his life on Saturday, Trump ripped up his speech to write a new one focused on unity. That speech expected to happen at 9 p.m. tonight. Steve?
All right, thanks, Morgan.